This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stockbox interview. Joining us today is the CEO of Golden Metal Resources, Oliver Friesen. Hi, Oliver. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing well, Mark. Good to chat again with you.
Yes, it's good to be speaking to you, and congratulations on, of course, the appointment. We have spoken in the past in your previous role as exploration manager for Power Metal Resources. And this IPO of GMR looks to be an exciting development for investors in POW. How excited are you by this opportunity, and what do you think you will bring to this role?
Yeah, that's a great question there, Mark. And, I think anytime that you're able to combine, number one, a fantastic management team, with a great project portfolio located in the top mining jurisdiction in the world, you combine this with a great and really solid capital structure as it's a spin out of Power Metal Resources. I think that's obviously a really exciting opportunity for anyone to be a part of. And then in terms of what I bring to the table, I think with my experience in the state of Nevada. Nevada is a place I have been active for over 10 years now. Been involved with some pretty significant projects there, including the Cortez Hills discovery made by Barrick Gold, which turned into a 15 million ounce deposit. I think with that experience I have in the state, it allows us to effectively and efficiently push these projects forward in our portfolio.
Okay. Well, I hope we can get you on our Market Musings podcast in the not too distant future and take a deeper discussion into your background and what's led you to where you are today. So Golden Metal Resources then, the primary focus is in Nevada, USA. Why was this chosen?
Yeah, so ultimately this decision was made for multiple reasons. Number one, sort of first and foremost, is the fact that Nevada is the top ranked mining jurisdiction in the world. This was in the Fraser Institute 2020 rankings, which is sort of the gold standard of mining ranking jurisdictions. So obviously to be in the top jurisdiction in the world is a really important factor here. But also on top of that, I think what's important to highlight here is the fact that not only is it a great mining jurisdiction for permitting, but it's a great place to make discoveries. Some of the largest and most economic gold mines in the world are located in the state of Nevada. So you kind of combine the exploration potential with the mining-friendly jurisdiction and legislation. I think that's obviously a really powerful combination. And then, on top of that, there's other things to highlight, which includes the fact that, it's a jurisdiction you can work year-round, 365 days a year. You can be drilling in the state of Nevada. This compared to a lot of companies that are focused on assets that maybe you can operate half of the year. So I think it's important to highlight that we can operate and we'll be delivering news flow on our portfolio throughout the entire year. And then I just think, one thing to highlight once again is how mining friendly the state is with our Golconda Summit project. We looked to obtain trenching permits about 4 months ago, and we received those permits in 3 weeks. So obviously it provides us with the confidence that we'll be able to permit for the various projects in our portfolio in short order, which allows us to focus on exploration and making discoveries.
Okay. So the Nevada portfolio includes the Cornerstone Pilot Mountain project, which already hosts a substantial JORC-compliant tungsten resource. I understand that Pilot Mountain is one of the largest tungsten resources in the USA. So what is the roadmap for the project in 2022?
Yeah, that's a great question, Mark. And as you mentioned, this is a really strategic asset for our company. It is one of the largest known tungsten resources in the United States. And I think to highlight that importance a bit more, the USGS, which is the United States Geological Survey, in 2020 included tungsten on their critical minerals list. On top of that, tungsten prices have increased more than 40% in the last year. And I think the final thing to note here is the fact that the majority of the global tungsten production comes from China. So I think those three factors combined obviously sort of highlight the strategic nature of this particular asset for our company. So in terms of how we're going to roll this one out and what our focus is going to be, number one, it's going to be on continuing to de-risk this asset, obviously being so strategic It's important that we continue to get this asset ready for a potential acquisition. But ultimately, we are a junior mining company. We're not a development company, so we're looking to make discoveries. We're looking to prove up assets and get them ready for potential acquisition. So I think it's important to highlight that we're going to be sort of staying true to that nature and focusing on the exploration upside that exists on this project. Now, interestingly, as part of our due diligence on this particular asset, we highlighted several copper-rich intersections that are located east of the majority of the work that's been done historically. Most of these intersections were not followed up on. So I think this is obviously a really exciting proposition for our investors as we continue to explore these sort of underdeveloped targets on the project. On top of that, an IP geophysical survey was done on this asset in 2012, 2013. As part of that survey, they highlighted and identified a very large chargeability anomaly located southeast of the desert scheelite deposit. This anomaly was never followed up on. So I think this anomaly combined with sort of these copper-rich intersections out east, I think sort of highlights the blue sky that exists here. And that's ultimately going to be our focus as we roll this asset out to the market in 2022.
Okay, excellent. Well, a final question for you, Oliver. The GMR portfolio has a further 3 properties in Nevada with gold, silver, and copper focus. Can you briefly give us an overview of these 3 projects?
Yeah, of course. And, as I mentioned, Pilot Mountain is obviously going to be sort of the flagship asset for the company. But I think, the other ones in the portfolio are really exciting. What I'll do is I'll highlight Golconda Summit. I'll just encourage anyone that's interested to go to the Gold Metals website to find out more on any of these assets. So Golconda Summit, it's actually the first one that we acquired about 8 months ago now. It's a Carlin-type gold property. Now, Carlin-type gold properties and systems, they're almost a deposit type that's exclusive to the state of Nevada. You don't really find them anywhere else in the world. The reason that these are important is that all the large gold mines that are owned by Barrick Gold and Newmont in the state are Carlin-type systems. So Golconda Summit, it's really strategically located. It's at the confluence of the 2 most prolific Carlin-type gold trends in the state of Nevada. Some of our neighbors within 20, 25 kilometers of our project are working on greater than 5 million ounce deposits. But what's important to highlight here is the fact that the historic work that was done highlighted some really, really impressive gold grades at surface. These include 8 meters at 25 grams per ton in trenching, as well as 9 grams per ton over 12 meters. Now, obviously, to see these grades at surface in this part of the world is a fantastic start. But really, what really gets me excited here is the fact that the lower plate rocks, which are located below about 100 meters below surface, which are sort of your carbonates, which are your known host of high grade and large deposits in the state of Nevada. On this property, they haven't been looked at. The historic exploration focused at the surface. So this allows us to have a massive opportunity to explore for these Carlin-type systems in the lower plate rocks, which really haven't been looked at. So I think the potential here for discovery is really exciting, and I think our investors are going to love to see the news flow that we have on this asset as this company comes to list in early 2022. Then on top of that, Garfield and Stonewall, these are really exciting assets as well. They're a bit more grassroots. So we're going to be focusing on some exploration on these alongside the drilling at Pilot Mountain and Golconda, and looking to get these assets to a drill-ready stage for later in 2022. And I think these are assets to keep your eye on as well. Lots of smoke on these ones that I think we're going to be able to develop and show to the market in the near future here.
Okay. Well, Oliver Friesen, the CEO of Golden Metal Resources, thank you very much for your time, and happy Christmas to you. It's well timed, and looking forward to seeing what the company and yourself can deliver in 2022. But thank you very much.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Talk to you soon.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like, or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.